Listening. Before you listen, you are going to listen to a part of the story The Devoted Friend by Oscar Wilde. Judging by the title, try to predict. Ви збираєтеся послухати частину історії «Відданий друг» Оскара Вайлда. Якщо судити за заголовком, спробуйте передбачити the characters of the story, героїв історії, their relationships, їхні відносини, the qualities the friends had, якості, які мали друзі. While you listen, в той час, коли ви слухаєте, be. Listen to the story and correct the mistakes in the statements given. Послухай історію і виправ помилки у реченнях, які подані. Example. Hans was very proud of his friends who had unusual ideas. Unusual неправильно замінити на слово noble. І ви, прослухавши історію, ви маєте виправити ці речення. Point 1. Hans liked to listen to his friend's ideas about gardening. The miller gave his friend Hans a lot of things in return. In winter, Hans suffered a lot from loneliness. When winter came, the miller continued to visit his friend Hans. The miller enjoyed taking a big basket of vegetables from Hans in spring. And now the text. The Devoted Friend. Little Hans had a great many friends, but the most devoted friend of all was Big Hugh the Miller. Indeed, so devoted was the rich miller to Little Hans that he would never go by his garden without leaning over the wall and taking something. He would never go by his garden without having a handful of sweet herbs or filling his pockets with plums and cherries, if it was the fruit season. Real friends should have everything in common, the miller used to say. Little Hans nodded and smiled. He felt very proud of having a friend with such noble ideas. Sometimes, indeed, the neighbors thought it strange that the rich miller never gave Little Hans anything in return. All knew that the miller had 100 sacks of flour stored in his mill, and 6 milk cows, and a large flock of woolly sheep. But Hans never troubled his head about these things. Nothing gave him greater pleasure than to listen to all the wonderful things the miller used to say about the unselfishness of true friendship. So Little Hans worked hard in his garden. During the spring, the summer, and the autumn, he was very happy. But when the winter came, he had no fruit or flowers to bring to the market. He suffered a good deal from cold and hunger. Often he had to go to bed without any supper but a few dried pears or some hard nuts. In the winter also he was extremely lonely, as the miller never came to see him then. There is no good in my going to see Little Hans so long as the snow lasts, the miller used to say to his wife. When friends are in trouble, they should be left alone and not be bothered by visitors. At least that is my idea of friendship. And I am right. So I shall wait till spring comes, and then I shall pay him a visit. And he will be able to give me a large basket of primroses, and that will make him so happy. Adapted from Oscar Wilde, The Devoted Friend. And the last part, C. After you listen, comment on the miller's ideas of friendship. Real friends should have everything in common. Прокоментуйте ідеї Міллера про дружбу. Справжнім друзям слід мати все все спільне. True friends is free from selfishness. Справжня дружба вільна від егоїзму. Then, when friends are in trouble, they should be left alone and not to be bothered by visitors. Коли друзі у біді, їх слід залишити наодинці і не турбувати нікому, ніякі відвідувачі, щоб їх не турбували.